Presidential implications of Christian mass murders. Daily Jot by Bill Wilson. The Washington Post reports that the president is considering executive actions to clamp down on gun buyers. As he said in his comments about the recent Oregon shootings, well, this is something we should politicize. This is a political choice we make to allow this to happen every few months in America. So the notion that gun violence is somehow different, that our freedom and our Constitution prohibits any modest regulation of how we use a deadly weapon, when there are law-abiding gun owners all across the country who could hunt and protect their families and do everything they do under such regulations, doesn't make sense. So he wants to make gun dealers liable for gun-related deaths. The Post says that the president is seriously considering circumventing Congress with his executive authority and imposing new background check requirements for buyers who purchase weapons from high-volume gun dealers. Under the proposed rule change, dealers who exceed a certain number of sales each year would be required to obtain a license from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and perform background checks on potential buyers. This accomplishes two things: 1. It puts the liability on gun dealers if a gun is used illegally. 2. It places the government in full control of whether a gun dealer can sell guns. The aim is to put gun dealers out of business. The problem in America, however, is not a gun problem. Those who were killed in Oregon and in Charleston, South Carolina, were Christians. According to former Focus on the Family employee Carl Chin, who has been researching church violence, deadly church violence since 2009, when the current president took office, has increased 422% over the previous 11 years. It would be a reasonable prediction based on these statistics that the current president has arguably presided over the most violent time against churches in recent American history. These are deaths that took place in churches, but they could be indicative of violence against Christians in America. Blaming guns for the deaths of Christians in Oregon and South Carolina is, as the president admitted, politicization, especially when you see who is being killed and who is doing the killing. Nazis and Islamists have been doing the killing. Christians have been getting killed. And what of the impact of a president who has perhaps incited these killers by demonizing Christians and characterizing conservative Christians, pro-gun, pro-life, pro-marriage, as racists, radicals, and extremists? The atmosphere has been established where churches and Christians, in particular, have become targets of a dark and evil element in our society. Jesus said in Matthew 24:9 that ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Sadly, in America over the last 7 years, this hate is stronger than it ever has been. Have a blessed and powerful day. Bill Wilson. www.dailyjot.com